I've noticed that the less attached I am to anything, the more free I am to be myself, and therefore the more good results come. But anytime I am overly attached to anything, whether that be the way someone thinks about me, attached to outcome of how something happens, attached to a person, attached to a belief or a label of a way I define myself, anytime I've been attached, it has been something that I infused resistance into my life or into that experience. And when I've let go of attachment, that's when all the results have come. And that's because attachment, as Buddha said, is the root of all suffering. So attachment and desire is the root of all suffering. And when you look at magnetic energy, you having magnetic energy and you attracting that which you want, while also, don't be afraid of this by the way, don't be afraid of repelling that which you don't want. That's something that sometimes when people are in a pattern where they care or they're attached to outcome, sometimes people will have this desire to get everyone to like them. And when everybody likes you, it means you're probably playing a little bit too safe. You're not showing the true authentic you. Because when you're at your core, you are going to both have, you may be a little more polarizing, but you're going to attract the people that would really resonate with you at your core, and you're going to repel people who wouldn't. The more authentic I've become in my own frame, the more I've repelled people that I don't necessarily want to come into my frame. And it's a very interesting perspective when it comes to magnetic energy. But in this video, what I want to do is share with you the magnetic formula for having love chase you. Having love come into your life easier than ever. These are things that allowed me to attract love easier than ever and really allowed me to also let go of old patterns that were blocking different areas of my life. But this is a practical, step-by-step process to values and qualities that you can begin to wire into yourself that changes absolutely everything. And I promise that by the end of this video, you will have those values or that formula for attracting love easier than ever. Now, for this journey for me, there was a part of me that was, it's funny, I was working at I remember when I worked at Nordstrom's, there was this one guy, and I used to always think that you had to look a certain way in order to attract love. There was a certain way that you had to look, and back in high school especially, I was such a nerd in high school. I was in band, and I was just also at the same time, I was really caring what other people thought of me. I had braces. I had horrible acne. I had to take something called Accutane, which is this stuff that dries out your skin, has horrible side effects. Do not recommend it at all. But I took that when I was a teenager, and I had a very low sense of self-worth. Even if you look up on Louise Hay, it's You Can Heal Your Life. It shows the different meanings of different diseases and ailments and stuff like that. And acne, it has to do with self-hatred. And I realized that as a kid, as a teenager, I definitely hated myself. And I could tell, I had a lot of blocks to love growing up because I had such a low sense of self-worth. And I remember when I was working at Barnes, New York, there was this one guy there. And not to be judgmental or anything, but I remember looking at him and just he was somebody that would attract some of the most beautiful women. Now, of course, there's outer beauty and inner beauty and all that. But he had a consistency to where anytime he was dating someone, it was somebody that looked like they were way out of his league. But then I realized that it was his energy that was what was attractive. His energy, he had this non-needy energy to where he was just confidently himself. He was funny, he had personality. And it then made me realize that, looks have very little do with attraction because attraction is energy-based. Yes, attraction can give you the first onglance of somebody, but attraction and love in general is vibration-based more than just appearance. Especially nowadays, people want sustenance, they want vulnerability, they want depth, not just the surface level look. And tell me if I'm right, by the way, like this video, if in a relationship you want that of depth and connection and vulnerability more so than just the stereotypical looks. Now, when I met this guy, I could see that that was his energy, and it made me think, like, what is that? What is it about him that allows him to be so easy with that? Love in his life, he always has somebody. Now he's like married with kids, and it just looked like that was an easy area of his life. And maybe it was his childhood. Maybe part of it was he had his parents that nurtured him a certain way, and he had a high sense of self-worth. But in general, that's when I realized that love in general is it's not looks. It's not like if I could look better, if I could get into better shape. Me recently, I got into better shape because I gained 20, 30 pounds, but it wasn't that I got into better shape that was the key. It was that I felt better about myself. So think about that. It's not the looks, it's not the appearance, it's the energy. I've met people before that I get to know them and I'm like, wow, this is a very attractive person. I've met people before that on the surface look a certain way and I'm not attracted to them at all, even though maybe everybody else is because of their energy, because of their personality. It's the same thing. So realize first off, this has more to do with your vibration, and you can be in a magnetic frame by owning it and realizing that people feel what you feel. People feel what you feel. Now, one of the first components of this is understanding that the magnetic formula for you being magnetic is, first off, non-neediness. Non-neediness. The less you need validation from other people, and the less you need other people to validate your frame, or the less you need people to respond to you a certain way, the less you need love, the less you need a partner, the more you will be in the vibration of having it. Think about it. Desire and attachment is the root of all suffering. You say, I want love. You are saying, I lack love. Because if you want it, you lack it. If you have it, you just naturally have it. You naturally are it. So this is also about realizing that wanting is because you don't currently have it. So the vibration of having it is really the vibration of being it. How can you be in that non-neediness? The degree to which you are attractive is the degree to which you are not needy. The more needy you are, or codependent you are, the more people feel that, and the more it literally pushes them away. For a long time in my love dynamic relationships, I would focus on the other person. How can I change myself to help them? I would find myself wondering, when are they texting back? And I realized that this had to do with a childhood wounding. Many of us have an abandonment wound, which means as a child, we felt emotionally or physically abandoned. And now we feel like we have to change ourselves in order to please other people. Really, by the way, what this means is we are losing the sense of self to help and give to other so that the other can give us what we think we need, which is validation. And the key to this, by the way, is anytime we felt abandoned as a kid, it means that we then abandoned ourselves to make others happy. Think about that. Isn't that crazy? And so the key is not abandoning the self and bringing the energy back to self. Back to confidence, because when you're in yourself, you're not needy. And when you heal the abandonment wound, when you do the inner shadow work and you start to feel worthy and you let go of shame that's normally around the identity, shame that we're not good enough, shame that we're broken, everything in your reality will change as a reflection. And that's why also today is, just so you guys know, today is the last chance to join the Magnetic Love Challenge, which starts July 1st to July 21st. We are going to be going through 21 days of becoming the most magnetic, high vibrational versions of ourselves. And what we're going to be doing is letting go of codependent patterns, letting go and becoming more secure in what is called our attachment style. We're going to be feeling worthy, whole, and complete. We're really letting go of the past stories we have about love and intimacy and wiring in a new magnetic us that is not needy, that is more in our frame, and that has magnetic energy. That both is magnetic towards what we want and repels what we don't want. And I'm bringing on amazing coaches and dating experts to help with this, but it's a 21-day live event. What makes this different is that this is an accountability process. It's a process you go through for 21 days. And what happens is at the end of each day, there's homework to do or something to do to wire in this new you and to let go of the old you. And over the 21 days, you will become a more magnetic you. We are going to be doing the calls. The live calls are going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, July 1st to July 21st. If you can't make the lives, it's okay. You will get the videos to watch that same day afterwards, so you can watch it on your own time. You can always go back to it. And Meow is the best time to join. Now is the best time to join because it starts in a couple days. So click the link below, join the Magnetic Love Challenge. If you haven't already, we've got over 2,000 people that have joined, and you'll also become a high viber, which means you'll have access to a soul family tribe, and you'll have an app for it. It's really cool. So anyways, I'm excited for this, and we start soon. So that's one of the first parts, is releasing codependent patterns, releasing feeling needy, and understanding that when you let go of that attachment, you become more magnetic. Now, the other aspect of this is 1, non-neediness. That's part of the magnetic formula. 2 is that of your authentic frame, being in your authentic frame. This means you being the ideal vibration of yourself. And what this means for me is, I've said this story many times, but I noticed that anytime I was working a 9-to-5 job I hated, all the girlfriends I would attract in my life were also working 9-to-5 jobs they hated. We were equal reflections to each other. When I started doing what I love, I then met people that were doing what they love. And that's who I would date. And it's just your vibration changes. And that's where now I've attracted love from somebody that does something very similar to what I do. In a way, like it's into the same type of things, has a similar vibration. And it doesn't have to be somebody that does exactly what you do, by the way. Not at all. But the key to this is understanding that when you are in your most authentic frame, when you're being yourself, that's when you're the most attractive. And if you're being someone that's inauthentic, if you're looking for validation, if you're doing a job that you hate and you're just kind of like, making ends meet, then you're not being the true you. So how can you be putting out a frequency? Think of your frequency as kind of like a mating call. Now, if you are putting out the frequency of, I work a 9-to-5 job that I hate, then guess what? You're going to attract somebody else that's like, I hate my 9-to-5 job too. It's not the most authentic version of you. And also being in your own frame. This is key because in your own frame means you're leading in your life. You're leading, you're able to be vulnerable, you live by your own values. So in my old neediness, codependent patterns, I valued people's validation over just about everything. Values are like clusters of beliefs. It's the virtues we live by. When you start to be in your authentic frame, what becomes more important is authenticity. It's vulnerability. It's connecting and realizing that you're already whole and complete. And it's you doing what you love because you feel empowered, because you feel confident. You live by a different value system. And basically in that 21-day Magnetic Love Challenge, we're letting go of the old values and we're wiring in a new philosophy, a new way of being. Not doing, not thinking, a new way of being to where we show up differently. And this will change every area of our life, because you'll find that when you are being the most authentic version of you, your business, your finance, your job, everything just continues to go up because you are in more alignment to your frame, and it's easier for you to set boundaries. So this is all an energetic relationship type dynamic. The Magnetic Love Formula is simply non-neediness plus you being in your authentic frame, you being in it unapologetically, and then you doing that and then wiring that in. And for 21 days, we're gonna be wiring that in. And like I said, now is the last chance to join. And we start July 1st to the 21st, and you can go back and watch the videos whenever you want afterwards. So if you can't make them live, it's totally cool. And all you do is you click the link below, or you go to aarondoughty.com/love, L-O-V-E. You can join, and I'm super excited for this. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.